Good morning. Hey, everybody. Oh my goodness. After all that, I was like, I was having technical problems here, but whoopsie days. Here we are. Good morning, everyone. I am going to get my bearings here. Ooh, do y'all see that mess back there? I typically am at my mother-in-law's house doing my live calls, and my kids are home with a babysitter, but my babysitter is unavailable. So my children are at my mother-in-law's, and I am here with you guys at my house. So I'm going to get us going here. I am so excited to see everyone. And for those of you that are catching the replay later, that is great too. Something just went really crazy with my screen. If you are here and you can see me or hear me, like raise your hand, say hello, something like that. I have this set up to where I can share my screen with y'all for some documents. And right now, oh my gosh, this is not doing what I need it to be doing. Okie dokie. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. This has never happened to me. All right. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm here. We made it. Okay. Let's get started. This will cut us off at 40 minutes, so beware. Okay, y'all, I cannot even tell you how excited I am. This is one of my absolute favorite days with each group because it is the day that we get started and I get to talk to y'all and encourage y'all and just share with you just how unbelievably excited I am for you to be here, for me to be here. This is something I am passionate about. It's something I feel called to do. So to know that you guys are in this process with me is super exciting for me. And I think out of like 20 calls I've done over the past 4 months, maybe 2 have I not cried. So just beware, I may have tears because I just get this happy and excited. So if you had told me 1 year ago this month, really, that, hey, in 1 year, you are going to be down 25 pounds, 4 pant sizes, in the best shape of your life, mentally, physically, and emotionally at the age of 40, I would not have believed you. I have spent many years wanting to be healthy, wanting to feel fit, wanting to have energy, and nothing ever got me there. So I promise you that you are in the right place. This time last year, I was literally napping 2 to 3 hours a day, eating most of my meals from the drive-thru, and really just seeing no way out of my unhealthy mental and physical habits that I had created. I dreaded waking up each morning because I knew it was just going to be hard. And nothing I tried or attempted to try or thought about trying was really motivating enough. Like I just thought, well, I can't be that, so I'm not going to try. And I did not do well with any of the shake or supplement routines that are out there. I didn't do well with keto. I didn't do well with the Whole30 restrictions. And I am in no way critiquing any of those things because a lot of those things work for people. They just did not work for me. And so I didn't do well. None of those things were manageable or sustainable for me long term. So I would kind of think, well, why even try or get started? Like, I can't do that forever. So please trust that you are in the right place. You are on the best path to changing your health these next 6 weeks. It is not going to be a quick fix. It is not going to be 6 weeks and I'm done. But you will have 6 weeks of training for something that you can do long term, because this is legitimately just about the food you eat. I'm not even going to tell you what you have to eat. You will get to figure that out. But as you do so with the formula that you are given, it will really and truly work. So anyway, not only is the science behind the faster way to fat loss accurate, but the results are too. I don't know how many of you follow me yet on Instagram or Facebook, or maybe you've followed other people or you've seen other things, but that stuff is not made up. It's really and truly true. So It's just the part that is different is that we all are at a different starting place. We all have a different goal in mind, and we all have an individual journey. So one of the keys to your success is to not compare your starting place, not to compare your progress, and not to compare your end goal to that of someone else's. This is yours and yours alone, but the method in which we use to create our own journey is going to be the same in spite of how different it looks with other people. We are still all using the same formula. Anyway, so everything for me changed last August with just a few small steps toward health. So for those of you who do know a little bit about my personal journey, I really and truly started out, all I did was lessen my drive-throughing. And I'm talking like, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but it was like 5 to 9 drive-throughs per week. Like, I have 5 kids. I had tried so many things that I couldn't sustain that I sort of gave up, and that was just my go-to. It was easy. It was really all I could manage. So I lessened my drive-throughing, and I walked, and not even briskly. I just lightly walked 10,000 steps a day. I'm like, that's all I can do. I can trade something for 10,000 steps. So, that part of my story is important. So I want you to keep it kind of in the back of your mind for a few minutes. So then over the next few months, I lost about 9 pounds. And by November, I had actually turned into a runner. I ran 6 miles last Thanksgiving Day. Okay, I've never been a runner. I'm not an athlete. Okay, so it was really and truly something that took place in my mind. I'm going to see if I can mute my notifications here and you still hear me. Can y'all still hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, perfect. Okay. Whew, that was distracting. Okay, so I was never someone that ran. I was never someone that was athletic. I didn't grow up doing sports. So I didn't really think anything would be possible for me to change because I just didn't enjoy it. You know, like I was not one of those people that's like, ooh, I cannot wait to get out and run, or I can't wait to go play tennis, or I can't wait. None of that was appealing to me. So that is also very important, because even if this is something you're like, okay, I'm going to give this a try, maybe it'll work for me. And even if you don't even really desire things that are going to feel hard right now, I can attest to the fact that you will eventually have a transformation in your mind where some of these things you've never desired before actually become something you desire and possibly even passionate about. Okay. So, and I'm not saying you need to become a runner, like by no means. I actually am doing more of the Faster Way workouts consistently now. I started that back in November. So even though I became this runner and I can do it, and I love the fact that I now can, I'm not running as much anymore because I'm doing the Faster Way workouts. So just kind of scratch that. But what I'm saying is, if we neglect our health because we just don't enjoy taking care of it, or it's hard, or we aren't good at it, or it doesn't come naturally, then we are just making excuses. My journey is an incredible testimony of learning to do hard things and putting one foot in front of the other when I did not feel like it. And I hope that this becomes a sort of place of that kind of encouragement for you. We're going to do a lot of things here the next 6 weeks. You will learn all of these things that you've heard about the program, but you will also learn some new kind of mental strategies and a little more encouragement in that area in the process. So it's not just going to be like these rules you have to follow. We will share and take part in one another's journeys in this department as well. And so what you're going to do though is you're going to start off at the place you are, and you're going to take it one day at a time. There are some people who are saying, oh my gosh, I just have to learn the right things to eat. I need help in this area. I hate exercising, or whatever it may be. We're going to all be working on different things in our own journey. I am working on new things right now. It's a kind of a continual thing. And I do have firsthand experience that this program does work for people who work the program. So in order to work this program, you will log your food in MyFitnessPal each day. you will post daily in our group page, whether your day is successful or not. I actually made the mistake of only posting and sharing like the days I really got it down pat, my first round. And then I did a second round and I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to post when I really didn't log things correctly, or I thought something worked and it didn't. So it's really, really important to post and to log the days where you hit those macros and the days when you don't, because this is not about perfection, okay? So whether your day looks successful or not, there's going to be a lot of trial and error these first few weeks. And you are going to work on continually improving your mindset and not beating yourself up when things don't look or go the way you had anticipated. You're going to do something active each day. If you're not currently exercising or you haven't in a while, I suggest you take it slow. Find something that you know is a realistic goal for you. You get to save these exercises that you have access to in the portal. You get to keep those forever. So don't feel like, oh, I've got to get all these workouts in 6 weeks. If that's not something attainable for you right now, you do something that is. And then I'll show you how to save those exercises. That may be your next phase, okay? The nutrition in this program is 90% of the equation. If you do not follow me on Instagram, I will try to post, for example, my sister-in-law, her 12-week progress. It's on my Facebook page. It's on Instagram. She's the one who helped me win my trip. But she was unable to do the workouts the first 6 weeks because she had had knee surgery. And during that time, depending on where you are, and if you do have a significant amount of weight to lose, she lost 19, I think, or 20 pounds those first 6 weeks. So without doing the workouts. So even if you could I think she was doing some walking after her knee surgery. So if you just want to aim for like 10,000 steps a day or 5,000 or 15,000 or whatever it looks like for you, that is totally fine. And then lastly, the other component to being successful in this program is to focus on progress and not perfection. You may hate me by now. Already you may hate me, or you may hate me in 6 weeks because you have heard me say that over and over and over again. So anyway, in November, remember I started my journey in August, but in November is when I began the Faster Way to Fat Loss, and it truly changed my life, and I'm still not perfect at it. I'm learning and acquiring new habits and new skills each and every day, and I still have room for progress and improvement. But I make new small changes each day, each week, and I walk this road to health just like you will, and just like I will encourage you to do these next 7 weeks. So pick a different thing each week to work on. This week, for example, I have adjusted my macros. You do eventually throughout the program adjust macros. And I actually, I'm like, what took me so long to do this? I went through on Saturday and wrote down each of my workouts. Like, you can go through the portal and just kind of list out what you'll do each day, and then take a little time watching the videos to show yourself what those moves look like. That has been such a game changer for me. I don't know why. It took me, 8 months now, but that's what I did. So anyway, as you've noticed in the workout portal, there is a home version, a beginner version, and a gym version. You do not have to have a gym membership for this program. And when I get to the questions, someone had asked a question this morning about the workouts, and I'll go into that in a moment. So when you have time, go through the exercises for the day or even ahead of time for the week and kind of write them down to save time like I did. Okay, so the Faster Way to Fat Loss is efficient, it is effective, and I think that you're going to find, like me, that it is the least restrictive lifestyle change to health that you have tried or that you will ever try. And I think if I had to pick one favorite thing, and I'm a very bad decision maker, so I don't pick favorite things very easily. But if I had to pick one, I would say that the Faster Way to Fat Loss, and this is when I get a little emotional, getting a little teary, it has given me the freedom to want to choose a better lifestyle. And that may click with you in a few weeks and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember when you said that. And yeah, it has, because you will feel empowered. And I am like not a motivational speaker. I am seriously not blowing smoke. These things have really happened to me. I'm like the biggest critic in the world. And so when I found this program, I mean, I had researched and I was kind of like thinking there's never anything. Like everybody claims their thing's going to work and I've tried it. So it really took me a long time to kind of pull the trigger to try this because I really thought it was kind of too good to be true and that it was just another thing that wasn't going to work. So I'm a picky person and I'm a little bit snobby in that regard. So I can promise you I did all the research and I did all the criticism before I tried this. And it was true. Like it really is a source of freedom for me. So I want to repeat that again because I kind of think it's like good, even if I made it up myself, is that the Faster Way to Fat Loss has given me the freedom to want to choose a better lifestyle. And I did kind of go through some grief stages. This is so silly. But when I realized that like my French fries, I was a French fry addict, and ice cream indulgences and potato chip binging, and then just getting to the place where I just didn't care. All of those things were holding me back. And I decided once and for all that I was willing to part with those comforts. And y'all, I was kind of sad. Like it was sad for me. I had a Wednesday night ritual when I left church that I would go through Chick-fil-A and I would get a large waffle fry and a small ice cream cup and I would dip those in and I would eat that the whole way home. And like when I gave that up, like there was a little bit of sadness because that was kind of like part of me. This is so ridiculous. I've never shared this on any of my prep week calls. So anyway, y'all may hate me and be like, what have I gotten myself into? This girl is cracky. But anyway, it was true. So if you find yourself being like, oh, gosh, that used to be my go-to. I kind of miss my relationship with that. Like that, these can be some really normal things you experience. But I was willing and I had the desire to really lay those things down, to have the health and the energy and the lifestyle of fitness. Remember, I was not fit. I was not athletic. And the activity level that I now have. And spoiler alert, you can still have those things I mentioned periodically. This is not a, forever and ever say goodbye to all of that. But you will be able to do those things in a healthy way that is realistic and that is possible and that is attainable and that is not restrictive and that is, what's the word I'm looking for? Balanced, I should say. And I hate that word. It's so cliche. Here's something balanced. But anyway, you will do that within a framework of macro tracking and intentional treat planning when it comes to those treats. And I literally find myself making healthier choices in my nutrition and exercise because I want to and not because I have to. My second favorite thing is that there are no additional products or supplements or shakes or anything you have to purchase to make this work. If you already have those things you love, continue doing those things. You are really just free to add to some things that are already going well for you. This is literally just the things that you eat and eating them at the right time, in the right way, and for the right reasons. So, by the way, if you're catching this later and you have no idea who I am, I'm Amberly Devers. I'm your Faster Way to Fat Loss coach, and I'm a homeschooling mom to 5 kids, and they are 11, 9, 7, 6, and 4. So I know some of you have already read every piece of material that you have received, or you have been stalking this program and other coaches or me for quite some time. Maybe you've been busy meal prepping and doing some of the exercises. That is great. Or if you're jumping into your second or third round, you just hit the ground running because you've had 6 weeks under your belt of doing this and learning this. So, but today I'm going to kind of go over more of the basics of the Faster Way and what we will be doing here. And then I'll leave some room at the end for some questions if our technology cooperates. So the Faster Way to Fat Loss is technically a gluten and dairy-free program. It is a suggestion. It is not something you have to do right away if everything's too overwhelming. I am gluten and dairy minimal or /limited, I say. So you are free here to work on the changes that you want to implement. Everyone's on their own journey. In this program, we will, hang on, I gotta get a sip of my coffee. On this program, you will eat whole foods that come from the ground or have a mother as often as you can. I don't want to say you got to do this perfectly at the moment. You do not You do the things that you need to do. Do not feel panic stricken over eliminating everything just yet. We are making healthy changes one step at a time. And as you also may have discovered in your reading, this is a program that will turn you into a fat burner instead of a fat storer and a sugar burner. And we do this through carb cycling and intermittent fasting. Through carb cycling, we deplete our glycogen stores and cause our bodies to burn that stored fat. And if we don't, we're just going to continually burn sugar, burn sugar, burn sugar instead of burning the stored fat. Consequently, we are left with tons of unhealthy stored fat. And in my case, it was years of fast food. And with carb cycling, we will follow an eating rotation each week for optimal fat burning strategies. Remember, this is not a diet. This is an eating plan. We are not restricting our calories, as you will soon find out. And I promise you, I'm going to get lots and lots of comments. Amberly, I cannot eat this much food. Or Amberly, my calories are too high. This is not going to work for me. I know how many calories I need each day to be successful. Or I know my body. Trust me, you will not be restricted on this program. As part of our carb cycling plan, we're going to have 2 low carb days each week, Monday and Tuesday, 2 low macro days each week, Friday and Sunday, and 3 regular macro days each week, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. That will eventually not sound like a foreign language. Don't worry, you aren't expected to keep all of that straight like this week or next week or the week after. You will eventually learn that. I have created a little chart for you for those of you that are paper and pen people. If you didn't get the success planner, I don't know if anybody did, but please don't share it with anyone. And I'm just going to see if I can share my screen with you real quickly and show that to you. And this will be helpful for you. Oh, shoot, wrong screen. This will be helpful for you as you are going through the program. Let me see, where's my screen sharing? Anyway, this will be helpful for you as you maybe want to plan out your week. Okay, here we go. Okay, so, oh my gosh, y'all. I mean, if you saw what my screen, oh, you can see my screen looks like. Gosh, I can't even hardly tell. Okay, so see this. This is like a little, can y'all see my screen? Can you give me a thumbs up? Thumbs up if you can see my screen. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Kim. Okay. So this is just a little macro planning chart. And as you look through we'll talk some more about this in the group this week in the posting. But if you look right here, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This tells you Monday low carb, Tuesday low carb, Wednesday regular macro, Thursday regular macro. Okay, you can see that. And what I would suggest doing is I wish this was a pointer, going through and writing, unless you are breastfeeding, pregnant, or have adrenal fatigue, everybody from Monday and Tuesday will have their carbs at 50. If you are breastfeeding, pregnant, or have adrenal fatigue, yours will be 100. Okay, then you're going to take your suggested fat for Monday and Tuesday as it is in MyFitnessPal, and you can literally like double that in this space. So if your suggested fat grams are 42, you can write 82 right here. Protein, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday will always be the same. So you can just go ahead and write protein there. And then for Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you can write those goals as you see on MyFitnessPal. The difference here is going to be on Friday and Sunday. And as your information tells you, you're going to take those MyFitnessPal goals and you are going to multiply them by 0.75 and just fill that in right there. And then you can go through here and kind of plan out your lunches, plan out your snacks, plan out your dinners, etc. Now, I am not legally allowed to kind of tell you what to eat. So, because I am not certified in nutrition, but what I will, oh my gosh, y'all, I can't flip my screen back. Okay, here we go. What I will be able to do is my friend Emily, she's been in the program since February. She's a mom of 6. She is amazing she's always been an amazing cook. She's been feeding my family for years because she's so good at it. But she introduced herself in the page this morning. So she will be offering lots and lots of suggestions, sharing some things that she does and giving you some ideas for snacks and meals. And I will be posting some suggestions in our page at the top where it says, let me see if I can just show you what that says, where it will say, I'm going to share my screen again. Let's see. So I will post some things for you in the Facebook page later where, oh my goodness gracious, y'all. Sorry, I'm not a technology expert. Okay, it will be in our page. Let's see, up here. No. Anyway, it'll be in here. Mine may look different than y'all because I'm the admin, but up here somewhere it'll say like files, and that's where you will be able to find these things later, okay? So anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Oh, actually, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and share something else. You may have seen this in your information. This is a macro cheat sheet, and this will help you when you are working at this and you're like, oh no, now I've got too much protein. I need something that's just carbs, or I've had too many carbs. How can I get just fat? This is going to be a very, very helpful thing for you. And just so you know, like this was just created by Amanda Tress, the creator, like in December or January. Like I didn't even have this resource my first thing. I'm going to just quickly show you what I'm going to post in our Facebook page at the top where it says files, I think it is, or maybe it says tabs. I think it's files or documents, something like that. I'll tell you when I do what it says when I have more time. Maybe I'll correct some spelling. But anyway, we'll have some regular macro ideas for you, some low carb ideas. All of that will be in our Facebook page later. So I hope that you find that helpful. Anyway, okay, I'm kind of doing some organizing here. Okay, that is not what I need. So anyway, if you want, I'm about to move into some questions here in a second, but if you want to start typing them down there, I won't be looking at them yet, but that'll kind of get us going, because sometimes I say, okay, type your questions, and then for whatever reason, the technology makes it take like 5 minutes. So anyway, in addition to the carb cycling, we will practice intermittent fasting. As you're learning, our bodies are either in one of two states. We are either fed or we are fasted. We are either digesting or we are feeding ourselves. So this as you've heard, is this new buzzword, intermittent fasting, and it will change your body. It will change your body fat. It will change your body composition. It will change things going on at the cellular level that you may not see. For those of you that know my story, in September of 2017, I had already, lost those 9 pounds. I was not going through the drive-thru, et cetera, et cetera. I'd spent 2 months of changing my habits without the faster way, and my triglycerides, and I was not considered an unhealthy person. I was not considered overweight. That was just my kind of normal living life. My triglycerides were 201, and I was considered a healthy individual. When after 6 months or so, whatever it was, I'm sorry about my math, but when I did another biometric screening just for our Humana, you do that twice a year during enrollment period, my triglycerides went from 201 to 59. So please keep those kind of things in mind. There's a lot of things that will be going on health-wise that you won't see. So a lot of things going on internally. And then not to mention, like I said, the things that are going to take place in your mind, and I may even say your heart, as you learn to find a healthy sense of control and understanding over your food and nutrition, but not this like obsessive, like unhealthy version of control, if that makes sense. And the purpose of this intermittent fasting is so our bodies will go into that fasted state and dip into that stored fat for the energy that it needs. We're not restricting calories or nutrition. Let me say that again. We are not restricting calories or nutrition just because we're only eating in that 8-hour period of time. I believe you're going to find that you are eating so much better and more nutrient dense foods during that 8-hour period of time than you have been doing. We're going to provide our bodies with the appropriate fats, carbs, and proteins. That's all you're looking at. Fats, carbs, and proteins. We refer to those 3 things as macros, macronutrients. I was like, oh my gosh, that's all it is? I thought it was something really, really confusing. So you don't have to pay attention to everything else right now if you've been trying to do that, and get things under control. Only look at fats, carbs, and proteins for now. and how to consume them in an 8-hour window. Do not feel like you have to have that 8-hour window right now, that you have to fast 16 hours right now. Start off at 10 hours of fasting, then move to 11, then move to 12. Do not make yourself miserable. This is progress. If you have adrenal fatigue, pregnant or breastfeeding, your fasting window will never be 16 hours. It will only be 10, 12, 14, whatever you find is working for you or whatever your doctor is approving. And I have not had a chance to go through the client assessments yet. I will probably do that at the end of the week. So if you are either of those things that I mentioned or have any little health things, if you're not in, if it's something you feel comfortable sharing in the comments in the Tuesday thread, please let me know just kind of ahead of time, and just so I kind of know right now. And then I will get to that. And like I said, work up to this 16-hour fasting. The Faster Way to Fat Loss is not a diet. It is an eating plan. It is made up of carb cycling, intermittent fasting, tracking your macros. Once again, the macros are fats, carbs, and proteins. These macronutrients are the basis of our nutrition structure that our bodies need. So even though we're only eating in that 8-hour period of time, we're filling those 8 hours with healthy nutrients that will fuel our body efficiently, so it has the energy it needs for us to feel good and to burn that fat that we don't need. That's what it will do during that fasted state. And like I said, the Faster Way is proving time and time again with results, with changes, that this science of this carb cycling and intermittent fasting works. I am no longer napping 2 to 3 hours a day. I do not spend any more money per week than I was spending. It's actually probably less. But I also don't have teenagers that I'm feeding, so that may look a little bit differently. Once again, I know this is such a bummer, and I've had a lot of criticism, and I was really critical at first, that for $200, I don't get a meal plan, but a meal plan is not going to be what empowers you or changes you. You have to figure out how you want to get your macros in each day to be successful. You may not like salmon. You may not like chicken. So I can't tell you, hey, here's a great 6-week meal plan. And you're like, can I not have one that doesn't include chicken? So you will have to figure out how you want to get those macros in each day. And that is what's going to empower you to be successful. Once again, the biggest thing to overcome was my mind. And so that is what we will do a lot of work here in, is me encouraging you and helping you to see the wins in each day, help you to see the positive, help you to see your progress. That's my goal, and that's what Emily will be helping do as well. Now, super, super helpful housekeeping items, here we go, is no question is too dumb. Ask it in that daily thread. If you have that question, I guarantee you somebody else does. I'm still asking questions, okay? So nothing is too dumb, and it helps everybody when somebody else has already asked that question, that they get to see that too. Or they may not have that question this week, but they may next week. And so we've already answered it because you've asked it. So that is like key, okay? Also, I may not see a Facebook message or an Instagram message or an email always, or text message. So our communication will take place in this page. My post will arrive around 6 a.m. each morning. I will check in and respond to questions, comments, macros, etc. A little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, and then as my day is with 5 children and homeschooling, we start back next week, just kind of whenever I get a minute. So if you're like, oh my gosh, it shows that she was in the group 2 minutes ago, why did she answer that person and not me? It might mean I was sitting on the potty and I had a few seconds and that's all I had, and then I just kind of worked my way through the rest of the day. So anyway, if for some reason you have asked something very important, or you're like, why has she not responded to my post for the day? It's because I didn't see it, y'all. Facebook is crazy. So sometimes I don't get a notification, or I get a notification and I go to it and it doesn't show it. So if it's something and you're like, I want a response, please go back to it and tag me. That is not going to hurt my feelings. That will not bother me one bit. It is, if you have not heard from me or Emily in 24 hours, we didn't see it. Things get hidden, or somebody else responds to it and then it takes it out of like order. I don't know what happens, but it is not offensive to me for you to tag me if you have not heard back from me. Okay, on Sundays, you will not hear from me or Emily too much. That is our Sabbath. That is our time with family. That is our rest. I encourage you to do the same. I will respond to macros on Sundays and questions either at the end of the day when I'm in my bathtub eating my muffin or first thing Monday morning. Do not get in a panic. You will make progress over the next 6 weeks. I promise you. In the MyFitnessPal video, it said to share your macro chart. In our group, we're going to do the nutrient tab, and I wish I had this pulled up. I will try to get it on my phone and just sort of show it to you. The nutrient tab is so helpful because it's going to show you each day what it looks like, and then you can kind of keep up with how much you have left of a certain thing. Okay, this is what your nutrient tab looks like. It just tells you, here's your carb goals. Sorry, y'all, this is like so sketchy. It'll tell you what your protein goals are, your carb goals, how many you've had for the day, and how many you have left. Pay attention to that each day for now because it's just going to help you keep up with everything. Okay, so be a resource for each other. Share ideas, share things you're enjoying, share a recipe, share a snack idea. If for some reason you thought it was working and it is like off, and Emily and I will be like, oh no, that's actually not a good one. So don't worry about getting it wrong. We'll help there. Oh, language. This is actually a clean, centered environment. You'd be surprised, but I've had some people think that it's like okay to drop an F-bomb in the Facebook page. It's not. So please don't. Also, speaking of language, I speak emoji. So most of the time there's going to be a lot of emojis when I'm responding to your questions or comments or whatever. If there are not emojis, it's because I'm on my computer going through Facebook comments and notifications. So it doesn't mean I'm angry if I'm not speaking emoji. It just means that I'm on my computer. So we will eat the right macros and nutrients at the right time for the right reasons. We're going to develop lean calorie burning muscle through these exercises. If that's where you're at right now, we're going to engage in fasted cardio and we will maintain the proper mindset. Okay, time for questions. Let me scroll my screen over so I can try to see them. Why can I not see them? Here we go, chat feature. Okay, so guys, if you look down at the bottom of your thing, it'll say a chat feature. And you can type your questions there. I do not have any questions right now, it looks like. So unless if you're like, no, you do have a question, you just can't see it, be like, so I can see you.